Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, wonderful people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining from. Please, okay, please just confirm if you can hear me. Confirm if I'm loud and clear. Can you hear me? Hello, 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 wonderful morning. Good afternoon, good evening, on where you're joining from. Please. Perfect. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining from. Good morning, everyone. It's actually morning over here. Please confirm if you can hear me. Are we together? Can you all hear me? Perfect, 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 perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow. We are so much on the call. We are so much on the call. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is a wonderful day, and I'm grateful to be here with you all. I'm so happy. And I have a special wish for a group of people, just a special wish, right? This goes to all our family and friends joining from Ethiopia, right? So if you are from Ethiopia, please drop your flag in the chat section, right? I want to wish you all a happy new year. I know you guys just crossed over to 2025. So please, if you are joining from Ethiopia, please drop your flag in the chat section. Thank you so much. I can see that. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Jonah. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So it's a wonderful year for you all. And I'm so excited actually because this year has also been a wonderful year for me. So I wish I can come to Ethiopia and start the year over again. So thank you guys. Thank you guys. It's a wonderful time being out here, with you all. My name is Emmanuel. I'm a bilingual trainer, with Impactor. And I am not here alone on the call this morning. I'm here with my colleagues as well. I have Grace Odofin that will be in the chat section with you all. I also have Joy Ize that will also be in the chat section with you all. And I also have another Grace. God has blessed us with Grace. So they will all be in the chat section with you all, responding to all your questions and comments and every other, challenges that you will encounter as long as today's session is concerned. But we don't pray for any challenges. I hope whatever you reach out to them would be of just questions. Okay. All right. So thank you so much. While we are celebrating our family and friends joining from Ethiopia, if you know you are also proud of your country, please drop the flag of your country in the chat section. So let me see if I still remember my geography. I want to identify each country by their flags. Okay. I've seen Ethiopia, I've seen Nigeria, I've seen Ghana. I've seen that is Malawi, right? I've seen Malawi, I've seen South Africa, I've seen Uganda, I've seen Morocco, I've seen I think Cameroon. Yeah, I've seen Cameroon. I've seen Togo. I've seen Benin. Which other country do we have here? Benin. Benin is it not a French-speaking country? And if I'm right, if I can still remember, I stand to be corrected. Is it not a French-speaking country, Benin? We actually have you here in, in the English class. It's a French. I thought as much. And I'm not sure if it's bilingual. Maybe you are in the right place, but if it's not, you should be in the French class. Okay. And we have other countries. Somalia. Is that Canada? I'm saying. I'm not too sure. The red flag with Nigeria. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys. I might not be able to call all the flags out here in the chat section. But just know that we have seen you. US, Egypt. Okay. Okay, I think those are the ones I didn't mention. I don't know which flag is this. Blue up, blue down, then black in the middle. I'm not sure. But I stand to be taught, right? Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Lesotho is here. Liberia is here. Zambia, I didn't mention Zambia. Sorry about that. Zambia is also here. I've mentioned Egypt. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. We are so excited to have you all here on the call, right? So I'm actually here today to share my experience with you all on data and insights, okay? So I'm here to share my experience, my small experience to you all on data and insights. And today we are going to have an interesting session. So I love when my session is really, really engaging, right? So in between the class, I will be throwing in some questions. Make sure you engage, make sure you answer those questions, and also use the chat section to have fun, right? But make sure you channel all your questions to the Q&A section, okay? So don't make a mistake to drop your questions in the chat. You can see I can barely read messages in the chat because of the number of people on this call, okay? So please channel all your questions to the Q&A section. All right, thank you so much, guys. And if you're ready for today's session, please drop your favorite emoji in the chat section. Drop your favorite emoji in the chat section. I love emojis. So if you are ready for today's session, drop your favorite emoji in the chat section. Thank you so much. I can see those emojis flying in like bullets. Thank you so much for this beautiful emoji. Mine is the heart. I love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. Is that the pepper emoji I'm seeing? Who is dropping pepper emoji? I hope no one is going to cry because I don't want to cry. Am I the one to cry or you're the one to cry? Please, whichever way, I don't wish anyone to cry in today's session. Okay, please don't drop pepper emoji for me. Keep it for yourself. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. All right, so let's just dive into what we have for today without wasting much time. Driving more sales with data and insights. Driving more sales with data and insights. So on our outline this morning, we will start by looking at what data is and what insights are. And then we will also look at the importance of data for businesses. Then we'll look at how we can source for data. And we'll also look at how we can put out these relevant questions when we are trying to source for data and insights. Then tools for data and insights, we also look at that. And finally, how to analyze and present this data, because it's not just all about collecting data. You have to know how to analyze it. You have to know how to present it, okay? So that's basically what we'll cover in today's session. All right, thank you, everyone. So if you are just joining, you're welcome to today's session. Like I said, my name is Emmanuel. I'm a bilingual trainer with Impactor. So I'm just saying this for, the latecomers. All right, thank you, guys. Let's start with data. What's data? What is data? So the data we are looking at today is not actually that data that helps us to connect to the internet. No, right? So the one we are paying attention to is, these are basically raw facts, right? Raw facts, raw information. There are figures, things you can measure, things you can count, things you can record. You can just simply walk into a store, right? Maybe a spa, supermarket, wherever, and then you see a price of an item written, right? On that very item, that's data, okay? So it could be a name of a place, price, cost, number of items sold, names of employees, product names, addresses, tax codes. So data in a simple man's language can basically be anything, right? As far as you don't understand it, okay? So when you don't understand it, data can be anything, all right? So I want you to see data as ingredients, okay? At one point, I know we've all entered our kitchen, right? At one point, okay? So you don't necessarily have to say, I don't know how to cook, because I'm not saying you went there to cook. Okay? But at least at one point, something must have taken you to the kitchen, okay? So you basically know some ingredients in the kitchen and some equipment there, okay? So I want you to see data has ingredients in your kitchen, okay? On their own, they can't really do much, right? They can't really do anything on their own, except you bring them together, right? And then you get to prepare maybe a very beautiful meal, okay? So I want you to see data has that, all right? So it could be anything, names of places, names of peoples, items, costs, tax, and whatever. Okay, so let's look at insights on the other hand. What are insights? Okay, so insights are now this clear picture you get out of something. Okay, so the clear understanding you get when you realize data or when you analyze data. Okay, so think of it as a finished meal, just like I started by explaining the ingredients in the kitchen, right? So think of data as a finished meal when you must have, gathered all those ingredients, put them together. Now, what comes out of it is now the insights. Now, let me explain better. Now, data are raw information, okay? While insights is a sudden realization of a clear understanding that provides a solution to a problem, okay? Now, this moment is often called the AHA moment, the aha moment, okay? When you get a revelation out of something, a eureka feeling. Are we together? So I don't know if at one point you had paused to say, oh, yeah, I'm supposed to do that thing that way. Yeah, this is what I am supposed to do. So that understanding, that revelation, right? That is insight. So let's say you're struggling to figure out how to attract more customers, right? I'm just giving you an example now. You're trying to figure out how to attract more customers, and then suddenly you realize that asking your customers, right, to drop a review on your Google Business profile will boost your visibility. So that realization, right, the moment you came to that understanding, that is insights. Okay. So let me give you another example. Data shows that customer, right, buys bread on Saturday. Okay, data shows that customers buy bread on Saturday. Now, the insights will be for you to bake more bread on Saturdays. Okay, for you to bake more bread on Saturdays. Now, data can show how women aged 20 to maybe 30 buy products, right? So insights now would be to focus running ads on this age range of your customers, okay? So let me give you another one. Now, data shows that 70% of your customers buy at night, okay? 70% of your customers buy at night. Now, insights will be for you to have an online business that is 24/7 available, okay? So customers can reach out to you at any given point in time. Are we together with these examples I've just given? Should I give you more? Let me see if I can get one more, okay? Let's say you are an entrepreneur, okay, struggling to reach customers online. And then you realize that most of your audience spend their time on Instagram, okay? Now, the insights will be for you to focus your marketing efforts on Instagram instead of just spreading wings, being on all platforms. That's insights, okay? So in a nutshell, an insight is when the solution suddenly becomes clear to you. When the solution suddenly becomes clear to you, even if you've been stuck in a particular place for a very long time. All right? I hope we are together up to this point. Okay, are we good? Please, if you know we are together, drop your favorite emoji. I love emojis, right? I love emojis. Drop your favorite emojis for me in the chat section. Thank you so much. Like I said, mine is the heart. I love you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I started by saying that in between, I'll be throwing a lot of questions, okay? So this is my first question for you all. Have you ever used data to gain insights on anything? Have you ever used data to gain insights? So now I have given you I've given you a definition of what data and insights are, right? So now, have you ever, at one point in your life, used data to gain insights, either about anything personal or about your business? Now, I'm seeing yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Okay, that is fine. Personally, I wasn't expecting to see a no, okay? But it's fine. This is a free space. No one is going to throw stones at you. Do you know why I wasn't expecting to see a no? Because I'm going to give you two instances that will actually help you to understand that you have used data at one point to gain insights, okay? The first example is, I don't know if you have ever gone into the history of your bank alerts, okay? Maybe your bank statement, you try to go to the bank to print it out. Maybe your bank alerts, you want to actually see how much you've spent in a particular month, in a particular week, or in a particular day. Have you ever done that? Now, if you have done that, that means that was data you were trying to source to gain a personal insight. Okay, that was a personal insight. Maybe you're trying to manage your spending habits. Okay, someone like me that I love bread and chocolate so much. It gets to a point that even if you give me bread, you can buy me, I will just surrender. Right? So if you just give me bread, I will surrender. So maybe you are that kind of person, and you want to control your spending habits, right? So you go back and look at your debit alerts, okay, to see how much you've spent on a particular product or on a particular service at one point in time. So if you have done that, that was data that you were looking at to gain a personal insight. Now, let me give you another example, okay? Have you been in school where you were given a particular topic, and it got to a point that you looked at the topic and you started murmuring, you started crying. Why could they give me this kind of topic? It is hard. It is not even my field. How will I defend it? How will I present this seminar? Blah, 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 blah. But it was given to you. There was nothing you could do about it, right? So you went back and started making a research. So you started gathering data, getting information. And when you brought all these things together, you now realize, oh, this topic is actually so interesting. This topic is actually so simple. Have you ever done that? Now, if you have done that, that was data that you were using to gain insights. Are we together? So everybody at one point have used data to gain insights. So I'm not expecting to see a no again in the chat section, okay? So I want to see everybody say, yes, I have done this. All right, so let's move on. Let's look at the importance of data for insights. Well, what I will say now is that we are looking and talking about data and insights, but let's see how we can narrow everything to the digital space. Remember, all we are considering is how we can source for data and gain insights online. That is why we are looking at this topic, okay? How can we source for data online and gain insights, okay? That is why we are looking at this topic. Okay, so the importance, data now helps you to find new customers, okay? Data helps you to find new customers. Secondly, data keeps your old customers. You're able to keep your old customers with data, okay? Data helps you to improve in your customer services. Data helps you to better manage your marketing efforts. Data helps you to track your social media interactions. Data helps you to predict sales trends. These are the importance of data when we go digital, okay? So that is why sourcing for data helps you to understand your customers, so you are able to stay ahead of your competitors and make smart decisions. So it's not just for fun. It's so that you'll be able to scale your business. That's why we are looking at this topic. How can you get this data to scale your business? So all of which fuels business what? Growth. Maybe to do this in a very simple way, let's look at each of these points one after the other so that we get to understand better. All right. So let's start with the first point. How can data help us to find new customers? Okay. Like you can see on your screen, using a lot of data tools and resources, and sources, business owners can know where to focus their customer acquisition strategy to. That is true. Okay. Data helps you to find new customers by showing you who is interested in your product, okay, where they are, right, and how to reach them. This is what data can do. Who is interested in your product, where they are, how you can reach them, right? So data now acts like a compass, okay? It acts like a compass. It points you to the right audience, to the right location, and product focus, right? So that you don't waste your time, money, energy, resources in just searching blindly. Okay, this is what data does to you. Let me give you an example. Okay, I love using examples so that we understand better. Okay, now with data, do you know that you can discover where your customers are? You can discover where they are with data. Okay, so you can leverage on your social media insights. So if you're on social media as a business selling, you can leverage on your social media insights just to know where your customer are. If you are using a website, you can go to your website analytics to understand where your audience are. Or you can even, search data to tell where people are coming from. Just make a search to tell where people are coming from. Okay. Let's say you have a website, and from the analytics, you notice that many visitors on your website come from Canada. Okay. You have a website, and from the analytics section of your website, you've come to discover a lot of people come from Canada. A lot of people come from US. A lot of people come from South Africa. Now, what is the need, targeting audience in other countries when you already know that country that your audience are? Okay. What is the need running ads in Nigeria when you know 90% of your audience are in Canada or South Africa? So just run ads to target those in that specific, country. Okay. So this is the power of data. It helps you find new customers. Data helps you to increase your customer retention. You are able to retain your customer, okay, with data. Now, retaining customer is not just, it is very important. It is as important, sometimes even more, than getting new customers. Do you believe that with me? So for you to retain a customer, it is more important than even getting the new ones. Who believes that with me? Let me explain, okay? Let me explain why I said that, right? If you cannot retain a customer and you go and get a new one, how can you keep the new ones, right? The same thing you did to chase the old ones away, you will repeat that same thing to the new ones you're getting, and they will also run away, right? So retaining a customer is sometimes even more important than getting a new one. Okay, so a loyal customer can spend more money. A loyal one, a customer you are able to retain, can spend more money, right? Can spend more on your products, on your services. Today, you were selling a particular product at $200. Tomorrow, I want to use dollars because that's, a general currency, since we are joining from different, countries. Okay, so maybe you were selling a particular product $100 or $50, and then because you are able to retain your audience, tomorrow they come back, you tell them, oh, that product is no longer $200, it's now $500. They will pay, they will spend, right? They will spend on it. But if you are not able to retain them, maybe they were having this doubt in their mind, and they are just looking for, a very tiny thing that will push them away. When once you just bring up such topic, they'll say, okay, thank you, bye-bye, God bless you. Okay, so a loyal customer can refer others, and also, they are far more less expensive to keep. You can keep an old customer than even a new one. because a new one will give you a lot of headache before they even start trusting you as a brand. Okay. But an old customer is very, very simple. Just tell them one or two things and then you can retain them. Okay. You can keep them. But the new ones, they will tell you, oh, I have headache. I have pain in my knee. That is why I cannot pay. I have this in my stomach. They can give you a lot of headache before you can even start keeping them. All right. Okay. Loyal customers love when you organize their info. I just want to let you know this, okay? They love when you organize their information, right? You're able to organize their information. You're able to evaluate their needs. You're able to personalize their services and also focus on their growth. So sometimes it is not just about selling. Focus on their needs, their pain points, okay? Organize their information, evaluate their needs, and then personalize their services and focus on their growth, right? Customers love that a lot. So with data now, data will help you to retain customers by letting you understand what they like. What do they like? What is their frustration? What is their pain point? Okay. How can I make them to keep coming back to buy from me? All right. And I have some tips to give to you for you to be able to retain your audience based on data, right? So with data now, you can personalize your customer's experience. With data, you can personalize your customer's experience. So you can tell, data now will tell you what each customer prefers, okay? Data will go a long way in telling you what each customer prefers, right? Let's say you run a store and you notice that one particular customer always orders a particular product. A particular customer always comes to order a particular product, that same product, okay? So you can only notice this based on data, all right? So now you can decide to say, let me start sending this particular customer a coupon like buy 4 and get 1 free, right? Because he's a loyal customer. He always comes back, right? Now, data can help you to personalize the experience. All right. Data can also help you to spot problems earlier in your industry. You're able to spot problems earlier in your industry, right? So using feedback forms, their complaints, you can easily analyze what problem you have in your niche, okay? Which helps you fix issues before they even escalate, right? Now, let me give you an example. If many customers complain about late delivery, let's say you run a delivery organization or a delivery company, right? Now, customers complain a lot about late delivery. What do? You improve. If not, you're going to lose out on these customers. So you improve by analyzing their complaints, their feedbacks, and all of that. Okay? Data also helps you to reward customer loyalty. So you can reward their loyalty, like I earlier explained, right? Giving them some coupons, buy 4, get 1 free. You are also able to track frequent buyers and also reward them. Okay? So let's say you run a clothing shop, right? You run a clothing shop and you discover that maybe John, Mary, or any other customer have been buying a lot of times from your store before a month, before the end of the year. So you can give them some discounts, the next time they are coming to buy, or you give them 20% discount, you give them 10% discount. Only data can help you achieve all of this. Data can also help you to re-engage lost customers, those customers that are no longer interested in your services. Data can help you do that because data shows that, oh, this person hasn't bought for a long time from me. Okay, so you can now look for a way to re-engage them, to bring them back. An example is if you run an online store, right? And you see a particular customer hasn't shopped from you maybe for 3 months or so. You can send them a we miss you kind of email or message, and tell them if they come back, you give them a 20% discount or a 10% discount, depending on what works with your industry. Okay? So these are the power of data. Lastly, data also helps you to predict sales trends. So you can predict, you predict something, you predict patterns, and you even know what is coming next, right? So data helps you to achieve all of these, which in turn plays into retaining your customers. Data helps you to predict, to improve your customer services. Okay, so you can improve your customer services with data. All right. Oh, look at it, this is very interesting. We're already talking about customer management and all of that, CRM. Customer relationship management. This is beautiful, from digital marketing to okay. Oh, this is interesting. All right, so let's look at how data helps us to improve in our customer services. Okay, so data now will show you what customer needs. It will show you what they need, what they complain about, and how you can serve them better. What do they want? What do they complain about? How can you serve them better? That is the power of data. Okay, so you can use you can use some feedback forms. You can analyze their complaints. You can use ratings to also improve in this sector. All right. So under this, data can identify common complaints. Let me explain. Common customer complaints. Okay. So with the reviews that you have gotten, you already see what customers are saying from the survey, that the online survey forms that you sent out to them. You have seen their complaints, you have seen their tears, you have seen their challenges. You can use that to identify what is the challenge, what is the problem, how can I improve. Okay, let me give you an example. Many customers complain about maybe a slow response in your WhatsApp, business platform. Okay, maybe they drop a message for you and you don't respond fast. You look a solution, you look for a solution to that, right? So try to see if you can hire an extra support agent, right? Should I hire an extra support agent? Should I get someone else to help me manage my WhatsApp business when I am not available? So all these things comes into play. So you can identify common complaints with data. All right. Data helps you to measure customer satisfaction. You can measure their satisfaction. You go to your review pages. Okay. For instance, the Google Business Profile. You go to the review section of your Google Business Profile and discover that your customers are rating you 1/5, 2/5, 3/5. Then you should ask yourself, I am running a restaurant. Why are they rating me 3/5? Maybe you start investigating and you then discover that your waiters are rude with them. So when they come, they don't have a friendly experience with the people they come across with. So you can now gather your workers and then give them a proper orientation. So it is only data that can help you to achieve this based on the ratings. Okay. Now, data also helps you to spot service gap. Okay. So you know those loopholes in your industry. So you're able to track where customers struggle. Are they struggling when they want to pay on your website? Maybe you have an e-commerce platform. Okay. And when they are using their mobile devices, they are navigating through, the e-commerce platform, they want to pay, but they have challenges proceeding to the next page, right? So it is left for you to go back and check what is really happening, that someone who is using a mobile device cannot proceed with payment on my e-commerce platform. So you find a solution to it. But only those on desktop maybe can do that, right? So data helps you to spot some loopholes, some service gaps in your industry. This forms part of improving in your customer service. Data helps you to train your staff better, okay? So you already know from the highlights, from the feedback, that your staff, they are very weak in a particular, angle. So you can call them together, organize a customer service training for them, and then they can improve from there, right? And data also helps you to predict service needs. So you are able to anticipate what customer will ask before they even ask. So you can anticipate what customer will ask before they even ask about it. Let me see what example I can give you there. Let's say you run an airline. You run an airline, and you discover that most customers, right? Most customers do ask about baggage rules. Okay, they do ask about baggage rules, and you can always send them an automatic email when they are trying to pay for their ticket, so that on the email they will get all those rules, right? So this is how you are able to predict future needs even before customers start asking about it. Data helps you to achieve all of this. Now, in a nutshell, it tells you data tells you where your service is weak, right? What customers expect, so that you can fix those problems, improve the speed, and also make them happier. All right, let's move further. Let's look at how data helps us to better manage our marketing efforts. How can data help us to better manage our marketing effort? Okay, data helps you to manage your marketing effort by making sure that you spend less money and time on the wrong audience, right? But helps you to focus more on what works. You pay more attention to what works, and then less money is being spent on what shouldn't work. Okay, that is how data helps you to better manage your marketing effort. Let me give you an example. Spending wisely, for instance. Okay, you run ads. Okay, let's say you run ads on your platform. Now, on the analytics of the ad section, so you are able to tell, or data is able to tell you who your audience is, right? So you spend less money on the wrong set of audience. Okay, so instead of you to run ads just randomly, you can run ads on specific target audience, because you know that most people who click on your ad, maybe when they went to Google, they used a particular keyword, maybe affordable shoes, maybe best laptops in Kenya, maybe best iPhones in Nigeria. So that keyword is what always brings them to your ad. Okay, so you can now leverage on this insight. You can leverage on this, make ads, attach more of these keywords, and send this ad to this group of people in this country. So you know most of them are coming from Kenya, most of them are coming from Canada, most of them are coming from South Africa. So target these specific regions. That is the power of data. So you spend wisely. Data also helps you to make a decision on the best marketing channel you can use. Okay, so there will be no need being on I've seen people, they are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn as a business. I'm not saying that is wrong. That is not wrong. It is fine for you to have a business presence on all platforms. But my challenge with that is that, how are you able to manage all these platforms at the same time? That is my challenge. Because let's look at this critically. Okay, let's say you have 1,000 followers on Facebook, you have 1,000 followers on Instagram, you have 1,000 followers on LinkedIn, and then out of these 1,000, you have at least 300 persons that engage on your platform each time you post or maybe run an ad. Now, how are you able to sit down on your by yourself and engage 300 persons on one platform, then you leave that platform to another platform and do the same thing all alone, except you have a team that can help you manage that? Now, what I'm trying to say in a nutshell is that data helps you to pick the best platform. Which platform is giving you the results you're looking for? Okay, so data tells you where your audience spend their time. Are they on Facebook? Are they on Twitter? Are they on Instagram? Are they on LinkedIn? But it is also good to have a presence on all platforms. Once in a while, you can jump into those ones that's not really giving you the traction, but you spend more time on that platform that is giving you the result. Okay, so let me give you an example. Let's say analytics shows that most sales comes from Instagram. Okay, you go to your Instagram analytics or insights, and you discover that most sales, or maybe on your website, most people click and come to your website from the URL of your website that you have attached on your Instagram. Now, there is no need really running ads on Google, because you can run ads on different platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, here, there, and so on, right? So you discover that most of the people that buy your product, your services, they come from Instagram. Then run ads on Instagram. Don't waste your time running ads on Facebook. Just run on Instagram, okay? And you will get the proper result you're looking for. So data helps you to better manage your marketing efforts. So data helps you to track your social media interactions. So you can track the interactions going on your social pages, on Facebook, on Instagram. So data shows you how people react to your posts, to your ads, to your content. You post the content, you have 1,000 followers, but you come back after 1 month, you don't even have one like. I've seen people like that. You share the content, and this is actually one of the things that will make a lot of people to give up. They will post today, and tomorrow they will say, I'm not doing it again. Right? Now, this is because maybe you are not looking at the analytics. You are just looking at what you see, and then you take your decision. You make your decision and you give up. You cannot give up just like that. Go to the analytics. Try to understand what is happening. Is my content resonating with them? Are they not interested in my content? Why is it that I have 1,000 followers, I post one content, and I don't even have one like? Right? That is not a good result. Okay. There are people that have only 200 followers, and then when they share something on their platform, they have a lot of engagement. Okay. They make a lot of money, right? If they run ads, even as a business. So you don't necessarily have to have 15K followers before you start making money. Even with the 500, 200, 300, you can make a lot of money. Okay. So data helps you to track your social media interactions. Now, let me give you an example. Let's say you posted 2 videos on your platform, video A and video B, right? Now, video A gave you 500 likes, and then video B gave you 50 likes. Now, which of these 2 content will you scale? Which of them? Please let me know in the chat section. Which of these 2? Video A gave you 500 likes, and video B gave you 50 likes. Which of these 2 content will you scale? Please, I'm reading your video A. Thank you so much. So look at what you did in video A, right? What kind of content did I share in video A that made me to have 500 likes? How can I expand and even do something more better like that, right? So scale on that, post more content like video A content, all right? Okay, so social data now helps you to track your social media interactions. And data helps you to predict sales trends. So data shows you pattern of how people buy. It shows you pattern. Oh, this person buys mostly during this period. This person buys mostly during this time. So you can prepare for the future. Now, if data shows you that umbrellas, maybe you're selling that, umbrellas do sell more in rainy seasons. Okay. So you are able to stock more before the next rainy season, right? That is the power of data. Data presents past sales data, which helps you estimate future demands. Let me give you an example. Last December, last December, right? Your bakery, for instance, sold 1,000 cakes. Okay, so you can prepare for 1,200 and not less. So it has to be more. Why? Because sales usually grow. So you prepare. It presents to you the past data so that you prepare ahead of that. Okay. Now, data also helps you to predict when demands will drop and rise so that you don't overstock and you don't also understock. Okay. Now, let's say you are into selling Christmas trees, Christmas lights, Easter eggs, Valentine gifts, and all of that. Okay, so you know that these are seasonal things. These are seasonal services, seasonal products. Okay, so you know when to reduce the demand. Reach out to your supplier and tell them, okay, we are almost out of this season. Okay, so please, I need less. Okay, so that you won't overstock and you won't understock. Don't forget, even when data predicts sales trends, it doesn't tell you the future exactly. Okay, data doesn't tell you what will happen exactly, but it shows you patterns that can help you prepare smartly. Okay, we have come to our first pause for questions. I've been talking too much. Now I need to I need to hear you speak through the chat or through the Q&A section. Okay? Uh Should we expect a recorded link after the session? Oh, sorry about that. Odokun, we do not send out recordings. Sorry about that. But you can join with us on YouTube anytime. Which data is important on social media, quantitative or I'm trying to get your question. Okay. I think I understand that. So both of them is very important, both quantitative and qualitative. Very important for your social media marketing. Okay. Is raw fact or figures that doesn't give any meaning information? Yes, definitely. Okay. Let me see more questions. Dear team, can you kindly disable those links like others? Okay, that was well noted. Can you differentiate uh, data and information? Okay, okay. Uh, Data are raw facts like numbers, figures, and information is what you organize already. All right, what has been organized, what has been prepared already. Okay. Apologies, how many hours? Usually an hour, 30 minutes. That is what we have for this session. This session, yes, it's on YouTube, please. What am I saying? The YouTube link has been shared, I hope. Let me reshare it in case you want to share it. So I've pasted the YouTube link in the Zoom chat. So please leverage on that. Okay. I run a blog and I have few followers. Even ITH my sweet content. Please, I'm trying to understand that. Could you refresh? That is from Solakbe. Hope I've gotten the pronunciation of your name well. Where do I find insights on Instagram? That's a good question. So since we are not on Instagram, I'm trying so hard to see how I can, help you understand where you can find it. So basically, if you open your Instagram, uh,
Hi, Emmanuel. If you are speaking, we can't hear you again. I don't know if it's your network. But for everyone, please, Mr. Emmanuel's network is actually bad for now. So just give him a moment to join back. Just give him a moment to join back so he can answer your questions. And if you still have questions, please, you can keep dropping your questions in the Q&A section. If you drop it on the chat box, we would not see it. We will not see it, neither will we answer those questions. Then please, for those who are still dropping links, after we have mentioned that we should stop dropping links, there will be penalty for you dropping your links. We've told you times down number to stop dropping links. Please do not drop links. You are distracting every other person in this session. Thank you. You can keep dropping your questions. You can keep dropping your questions. Thank you, everyone. Okay, welcome, Emmanuel. Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you so
Yes.
much. Please, so sorry. I got kicked out. It's raining heavily here, so I guess that must be the challenge I encountered. So sorry about that. Okay, I'm back with my wonderful people. Okay. Thank you, guys. So I was actually answering some questions. I've been locked out. Probably I might not be able to find most questions again, but let me see the ones I have. Can you define data again? I couldn't get it. Okay, so data are raw facts, information, could be a name of a person, name of a place, tax, code, items. So basically anything that doesn't have any meaning, okay? That is data. So I told you to see it as ingredients in your kitchen, okay? On its own, it can't really do much, but when you assemble them together and you use them to prepare a meal, and then it gives you an excellent result. That's data. How do we gather this data? Okay, so I don't want to answer this question, Celestine, because that is what we will look at in our next slides. Okay, how to gather these data. Which tools used to gather data? I don't also want to answer that question. We'll see that in the next session. Sorry, in the next slide. Okay, as a beginner in online sales, how should I start, and what do I need to focus on as a beginner on online sales? Well, it depends on what you're selling. I will not come and decide what you should be selling online. Okay, so it's one thing for you to come online, it's another thing for you to decide, what am I advertising online? Am I selling products? Am I giving out services? That is all on you. Now, what you're doing will now determine the kind of steps and strategies you should use to expand when you go digital. Okay? I hope I've answered your question. Do we need to have core data analysis skills to be able to make sense out of data collected? I love these questions. I love this question so much, Kenide. This is a very wonderful question, right? So you don't need to have a technical skill. That is why we are here. So if we are teaching you and we don't show you how to do these things, then it's of no use, right? That is why you are here. You don't need to have any technical knowledge. We will show you the tools. All you need to do is to practicalize, right? When you leave this place, go back, then jump on these tools and do one or two things, all right? Is data same as information? I think I've already answered that. Can I be able to run analysis in my Google Business Profile? Of course. You had a session yesterday on Google Business Profile, and the Google Business Profile has an analytics section, okay, where you spend more time and, where you can go and understand what is happening on your Google Business Profile dashboard, right? Who are the visitors when they come to your profile? What are they doing? What are they watched to you? Are they male? Are they female? Which devices are they using? So you get all this information on the analytics of your Google Business Profile. So your Google Business Profile from the search, from the back end now, where you are the manager, okay? So you can go to the performance section, click on the performance and see all these analytics, all right? Can I use data to advertise my product? Of course. Data is used for insights. So you can use data to advertise, okay? So you already know from the data that only female buy your products. What's the point targeting male with your adverts? So only target females with your adverts. So you can use data to advertise. So it's more or less like understanding what you need to do when you see this data. Okay, Doreen, I hope I've answered your question. How to analyze data? Well, we will look at that in the session that is coming. How do we analyze and present? Okay, there are a lot of questions. I hope my moderators are also doing a wonderful work. I can see they have answered a lot of questions as well. Let me rephrase it this way. How does information privacy impact the way business use data analysis? Well, that is also a very good question. I can't really be specific about that because it depends on the platform that you're making use of. But I know like using Google tools like the Google Analytics and everything that has to do with Google, there is a lot of privacy. Okay, so those, to an extent, they might use our data, but not to the extent you expect them to. Not they do not necessarily have to cross the boundary that you have in mind. Okay, so maybe they just use this data to help your business or help your profile or help your activities. Okay, so that privacy is nothing you should worry about. All right. So what tools we can use to collect data specifically to evaluate our business performance on social media? That's a wonderful one. So basically on social media, use social media analytics, okay? But you can also use, for instance, if you're using Facebook and Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, they are all under the Meta family. So you can use the Facebook Manager, right? You can use the Facebook Manager, right, to link these three applications together and then gain insights from them. So you will know what is happening on your Facebook, know what is happening on your Instagram, and also on your WhatsApp. I'm a graphic designer. Please, how do I get about this data? Don't worry, you see that in the next session. Sorry, in the next slide. I don't know why next session is coming to my mind. Are we going to have those presentations at the end? Sorry, we do not share our slides. Sorry about that. We encourage everyone to join live. I need one tool for data analysis. The Google Analytics, that's a tool. There are a lot of them. We will look at them. How to use data for startups, new business. I think I've answered that already. Please, let's not repeat questions so that we will be able to finish the session on time. All right, so so far I've answered a few questions. I know not all, but my moderators will help me, but because of our time, we just need to move on. All right, so let's look at steps to use when using data and insights to grow our business. What are the steps? First, ask the right questions, okay? Asking the right questions. Secondly, picking the right tools. Most of us, we made mention of tools. What are the tools we need to use? Ask the right questions, pick the right tools, visualize and analyze these data, okay? So we will look at all of these. So when we talk about understanding the right questions to ask, so this is basically asking yourself, okay, who are my target audience? These are right questions. You want to start a business and you have a product, you have a service. You should first ask yourself, who am I to target? Who is my target audience? Now, what do they like? What do they like? Okay, what do they like? What interests them? Okay, when do they buy most? When do they buy most? Okay, is it in the morning time? So you have to ask yourself, these are relevant questions you need to put down so that you will know how well to understand your audience and also how to go about your marketing. Okay, so I have a question here, another question to engage with you all. What questions do you ask your target customers? What questions do you ask them? Let's say you want to improve, you want to retain them, you want to grow, you want trends. What question do you ask them? Okay, Duada says you ask about their location. That is a very good one. So you want to know first if they are closer to you, right? So that you know if you can offer your services to them. That's a very wonderful one. Okay. How best should we serve you next time? Faith, thank you so much. How best? So it is very important for you to gather that from your audience. So they bought from you. How best can you serve them? Okay. About their preference brand. That's a very good one. Ali, Jocelyn, kind of improvement needed. That's also a good one. Agnes, what they think about our services. So these are all good questions that you need to ask your target audience. So the aim is basically for improvement, okay? For improvement and for you to know how you can go about serving them better. Okay, steps to analyze business data. Define your goals, define your objective. It is very important for you to define your objective, okay? Ask the right questions. Ask the right questions. These are steps. Step one, define what is your business objective. because your business objective might be different from mine. Okay, yours might be different from mine. So what is your business objective? Do you want to make money? Do you want sales? Do you want traffic? Do you want leads? You have to define it. Okay, so when you define your business goals, you will now know the relevant questions to ask. And when you're able to spot out those questions to ask, you now know how to how to get this information. Where should I even get this information? And now the steps. What do you do? Because it's not just getting the information. Next step, what do you do? Let me give you an example. Let's say your goal is to sell shoes, most shoes. Okay, you want to sell more shoes. And then one relevant question you should ask is, who are the buyers? Right? Who can buy my kind of shoe, the type of shoe I'm selling? Right? And now, where do you get this information? Let's say you have your business on Instagram. You have your business on Facebook. Go to the insights of your Instagram. Go to the insights of your Facebook to gather this information. Okay. Now, the action, right? What should you do? That's the action point. What should you do? Run ads on that platform. If you're on Instagram, run ads on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, run ads on Facebook. Okay. So that is the action point. All right. So you spell out your objective. You identify the relevant questions to ask. You choose a platform that you source for this data, and then you now take an action. Now, your business objective would definitely be different from someone else's business objective, right? We are running different industries. So mine might be to tell more people about my business. Yours might be to sell more product. And maybe Faith's business objective might be to find valuable customers. And maybe Grace's business objective might be to reconnect with past customers. So it would definitely be different, right? But one thing you have to know is that whatever your business objective is, make sure it is smart, right? A business objective has to be smart. What do we mean by making a business objective smart? It has to be specific, has to be measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, okay? Specific in the sense that you want to make sales. How much do you want to make? So you don't just say, I want to make sales. I want to make sales, but how much? $1,000. Now, it has to be measurable, right? Always come back to measure. See if you have gotten the result you wanted or not. It has to be achievable. Is it achievable? Are you real about it? Or you are just doing it, okay? So you have to be realistic about the resources you're using, the way you are going about doing this thing. And then it has to be time-bound. So how long do you want this before you come back to measure? Okay, how long do you want this? Okay, maybe between the first quarter of the year, the first 3 months, I want to use that to grow my followers to 2,000, to 5,000, right? So at the end of the first quarter of the year, you come back to measure, to analyze. Did I get the result I was actually looking for or not? All right. So make sure your business objectives are smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Now, this is a formula that helps us to knowing the relevant question to ask. If your goal is to reach out to audience, so you should ask questions like, who is my audience? Who are they, right? Because you want to reach out to them. So we call it the REEN formula. It helps us to know the relevant questions to ask. And let's say your goal is to engage your audience, right? So you should ask questions like, are they satisfied, right? Are they satisfied? Are they finding what they need, right? So your goal is to activate them. Are they taking action? Are they buying? Are they signing up? So you have to ask yourself these questions. And your goal is to nurture them. Are they always coming back? Or they are just one-off customers? They buy once and you never see them again. So when you are able to put all these questions together, you definitely know how to go about achieving your goals. Where to get this information? Just like I said, there are so many platforms where you can get this information, okay? Where you can get data. You can get them on your social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and so many other platforms, right? You can get this information there, this data there, all right? Now, you can also throw out customer survey and feedback forms, right? can throw out customer survey and feedback forms to your audience. They get to fill it, and then let me see if I can quickly drop some links for you, some survey form links for you. We have the Google form, the most used type of form, right? It's very useful, Google form, and good for beginners if you're just starting. We also have the SurveyMonkey.net. We have the type form. We have Zoho. Someone made mention of a tool you should use. Zoho is one of them. Zoho. We have the Jot form. We have the Hotjar. We have a lot of them, right? Let me just see if I can grab them and then share. If I can't, I'm sure what this means. Oh, okay. Okay, that's perfect. You can see it in the chat. Maybe my moderators can help me share. All right, so these are so many types of survey forms and feedback forms that you can use to reach out to your audience or to gather this information from your audience. Okay, and now we have online analytics platform that you can go to. An example of an online analytics is the Google Analytics, right? We will look at that as we proceed. That's why I don't want to run faster than my shadows. Okay, so we will talk about the Google Analytics. It's an example of an online analytics platform that you can use to source for data. But mind you, it is only meant for those that have a website, right? It's only meant for those that have websites. Okay, example of different data sources. I've made mention of social media already. I've talked about your website, which you make use of the Google Analytics. Then let's talk about the two below, the organic search and the paid search, right? Now, organic search is basically trying to find out how people discover your website or your Google business profile or your online web, platforms through search. Okay, how do they discover you? Do they discover your website through a keyword? Maybe they went to Google, they typed a particular keyword, and then Google scanned the internet and brought your website for them to have a look, right? So is that the way they found you? How many persons used a particular keyword to find you? That is organic search. Okay, so a tool you can use under organic search is the Google Search Console. The Google Search Console, we'll also look at that as we proceed. But if you want the link, that is search.google.com. My moderators can help me with the link and share in the chat, search.google.com. So that's a tool you can use for the organic search. Even the Google Business Profile, right, is also a tool you can use for the organic search. Okay, so you basically know how people are looking for your online web platforms through a search name, that is a keyword now, or maybe through a business name, or through what they typed, or whatever means. Maybe they saw links and clicked, so you can discover all these things. Now, the paid search is when you run an ad. Okay, you run an ad on on the search engine, and then from the data on the ad, you can source for information, or you look at the ad analytics, right? This ad has been running for 1 month. This is the number of clicks I've gotten. This is the number of shares. This is the number of likes. How many people filled the form? This, that. You can get all those information under your paid search. So these are different examples of data sources that we have. Now let's jump a little bit into what we can do with this information. Okay, I told you it's not just about sourcing data, but what can you basically do when you have this information? So you can first decide to visualize it. There are two ways of sourcing for data. You can either source for data online or offline. Okay, so you can source for data online or offline. So now you do not necessarily need to do anything again when you are online as a business. All you need to do is go to your platforms, read the data there, and gain insights, because everything has been analyzed, visualized, just for you to understand. But if you're sourcing for data offline, the first thing you might consider is choosing the right visualization technique. How do you choose to visualize your data? How do you choose to visualize your data. Okay, so you can decide to visualize your data using line graph, bar graph, line charts, pie charts, just for you to comprehend the data in which you have collected, right? So the next thing is to regularly update and monitor visualizations to reflect the most recent data. Most products are coming into your store. New ones are coming in, things are changing. So you need to always source for data, regularly, maybe quarterly, maybe 2 times a year, depending on what works for you, okay? So make sure you always visualize to reflect the most recent ones. And then identify your key metrics. How do you scale, right? What is making you to stand out in your industry? What makes you stand out? What is that key performance indicator? So you have to identify that so that you can expand your reach through that. Then if your business operates across different geographical locations, consider visualizing your data based on maps, okay? So if you have a business across the continent, make sure you don't mix them all up together. Make sure you visualize each data based on those regions. And we move further to talking about the importance of insights. Why are insights important? Insights helps you to know what's popular, right? That's market trends. It helps you to know what is trending in your industry, what is popular, right? That's the importance of insights. All right. Sorry. Insights also helps you to see how customers behave on your platform, the experience customers bring into your platform, right? So you understand how they behave, how they make decisions, right? Insights also helps you to know what content work best, on your platforms. Maybe you share more of video content and then text, less of text, less of image content, less of audio and all of that. So insights will present to you or will help you to understand that most people, they engage more when you share video content. So when you share a video on your platform, you have a lot of engagement, you have a lot of traction, right? But any day you share text, people might not even engage. That's insight. So this presents to you what you should do. Pay more attention to that kind of content that people are really engaging with. So if they love video, share more video. Maybe once in a while, you can bring in text, image, and audio content, okay? So insights helps you to adopt a strategy that works for you. So you stick to a particular strategy. This is what I've been doing. It works for me very well. You scale on it, and then you keep going. Another pause for questions. Do we have? I have only one question in the chat. Thank you so much, my moderators. Where do I find insights on Instagram? I think we've answered this already. We've answered this. So get to your Instagram professional account first. If you don't have a professional account, then you won't have access to insights, okay? And you cannot run ads as well, okay? I think you had a session on social media marketing, so you must have been told this, right? So when you create a social media account, if you're using it for business, please use a page or a professional account, because some platforms call it professional account, like Instagram, while Facebook calls it a page. So you can switch it to a page, or maybe just create a page itself, right? Okay, so I think that was the only question in the chat. Do we have another one? Okay, I think we don't have anyone for now. All right, so let's move a bit. Let's see how we can cover up. We still have a few more slides to cover. Let's identify the best tools we can use. Like I said, social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, go to their insights, okay? Now, we have another tool, the Google Search Console, which is mainly for website users, okay? We have another one, the Google Business Profile. So either you have a website or not, the Google Business Profile is for everyone. We have another one, the Google Analytics, which is an example of an online analytics platform, right? So the Google Analytics now is also a tool, and also mainly for website owners, if you have a website. So we will look at how these platforms, we look at how they all look like, right? Okay, have you ever used any tool to gain insights before? From what we've just, handled today, have you ever used any tool to gain insights before? Following very closely. Okay, thank you so much. So have we ever used any tool to gain insights before? Yes, yes, yes. My blog automatically gives me insight. Interesting. You see that? So that is a very wonderful one. Yes, survey CTO. You can see. Yes, Facebook. Okay. So please, insights are very, very important. Okay. So you can use tools to gain insights. Software platforms that collect a lot of analysis, that gives you analysis about data that you can use to understand customers, to track your performance, and also make better business decisions, right? So let me mention some popular tools. I know I've already mentioned the Google Analytics. Now, the Google Analytics helps you to track what people do on your website. I said it's only for website owners, okay? It helps you track what people do on your website, the visits, who visited your website, the clicks, the purchases, okay? So it shows you all these things. And this is what we call traffic. When people come to your website, it is called traffic, the number of people that came to your website, okay? So it shows you most sales come from Instagram traffic. Now, on your website, on your Instagram or on your Facebook or on any other social media platform that you are using, you must have attached the URL of your website on the bio. So when people go to Instagram, they see the link of your website, they click on it and they go to your website, right? So the Google Analytics presents all this information to you. You are able to know that most of your visitors, they come from Instagram. So it is needful for you to pay more attention advertising on Instagram because most of them come from there, okay? Sorry. Now, we have the Google Search Console. The Google Search Console is another tool, right? The Google Search Console is a technical search engine optimization tool. We'll look at that, how it looks like, all right? So you don't need to worry. But what does it do? It shows you how your website performs on Google search, like on the search engine. So it shows you how it performs on the search engine. We'll look at that, right? Now, an example of what it does is that it reveals some top keywords people use to find your website. Are they using, let's say you are in the baking industry. Are they using vanilla ice cream to come to your website? Are they using bread? Just like I said, if you give me one, I'll surrender. Are they using bread to get to your website? Are they using cakes and every other thing that has to do with baking? Okay. We have another tool, the Google Business Profile. I know you had a session on the Google Business Profile, right? So this is a tool that helps you track how customers find you on Google Maps, right? Google Maps and on Google Google Search, right? Now, let's say you have 100 persons who clicked on who called you, right? From your profile last month. You're able to track that information. 50 persons called you to get your services, to get your products, and they called you because they found your profile on Google. So there is a contact there which belongs to you, which is what you added on Google, or they called you live directly from the search. Now you're able to track all these details using the Google Business Profile. We have Facebook Insights, which you can track using a Facebook page, or you also go to the Meta Business Suite, right? Meta Business Suite. The Meta Business Suite now can link 3 applications that are under the Meta family: Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, right? So you're able to know videos bring more engagement than photos, right? You're able to know text bring more engagement than maybe images, right? So you learn all these things when you get to your Facebook Insights. We have LinkedIn Insights. LinkedIn Insights now measures performance of posts, followers, company pages, right? And now you can even get job-related posts that got more clicks. on LinkedIn as well. It's a professional platform, okay? It's meant for professionals. It's meant for, those who are in the corporate sector, right? So you can go there to measure performance of your posts, followers, company page, and all of that. We have YouTube analytics in case you're a YouTuber, right? So you can track watch time, subscribers, video performance, and all of that on your YouTube analytics. Okay, so viewers watch tutorials longer than ads. That is an example. So from the analytics, you come to discover that viewers watch tutorials longer than ads. Okay, so you work towards that. All right. So we have email analytics, and you get analytics on email platforms, right? Like MailChimp, HubSpot, Snove.io, contact. We have, I'm trying to remember this one now. Get Response. Yeah, that's the one I wanted since, right? So we have Get Response, MailChimp, Hotspot, Constant Contact, Snove.io. These are all email platforms. So you can go to the back end and then gather this information. So it shows you the open rates, the clicks, the conversions from your email campaigns. Okay. So you are able to know that 40% of customers opened your promo email and then only 10% clicked on it. Okay. So you discover all this information there. We have survey tools, which are the ones I dropped in the chat earlier. Google Forms, Typeforms, Survey Monkeys. So we use all of them to collect direct feedback from customers, okay? So an example could be collecting requests from fast delivery so that you can, basically improve with that. Okay, I think I've did justice to that. Examples of analytic tools I've already mentioned: social media, organic search, website, paid search, okay? So this is an example of how a Facebook page insights looks like. In case you have never seen it before, right? This is how it looks like. So if you have a Facebook page, then you can see insights. Then before you see insights, make sure you have content that you must have already shared on your platform. You don't go to an empty space to go and look for insights. You will not see anything, right? So make sure you have been sharing content, you have been posting, you have been running ads, and then you can go there to track the performance. So basically, you track how many people liked a particular post or maybe an ad, how many followed you, how many unfollowed you, your page, your page reach, how many people saw your posts. That's the reach now. Your page impressions. Now, the total times your post has been seen by one particular person, right? So you are able to see all this information, and then you can use that to improve. Even the post performance as well. You can track the post performance on your Facebook as well. On the post performance, you basically know which post got more likes, clicks, shares, comments, so that you can scale on that particular content, right? So it helps you to also see what type of content work best. We have the audience insights as well on the Facebook insights. So here you know the age, the gender, the location of your followers, and when your followers come online. All this information are found under the audience insight on your Facebook page. We have the actions on the page, just like what the image you can see now on your screen, right? The image you can see now on your screen. If you look at the left-hand side, you see the first trigger point there is action on the page. You have 124 action on this particular page that was screenshotted. Now, this shows you how many clicked call now, visit website, or send message. How many took that action? So you are able to track all this, information. Why is it useful? Facebook Insights is useful because it shows you what works and what doesn't work, right? It helps you save money by boosting only posts that are already doing well, right? And also it guides you on the kind of content strategy you need to prioritize. And this is the Google Search Console. I told you, if you're interested, that is if you have a website and you are interested in making use of the Google Search Console, go to search.google.com. I believe my moderators will help me with the link, search.google.com. So this is the Google Search Console and how it looks like. Now, what is the Google Search Console? It's a free tool from Google. It's a free tool. It's not paid, okay? So Google gives us this tool for us to understand what is happening on our website. Now, with this tool, you can monitor and improve how your website appears on the Google search result. How does it appear on the Google search result? Okay, now let me give you an example of that. Do you see the purple highlights on your screen? The purple highlights with 37.1, right? Do you see the purple highlight with 37.1? Now, this implies that this particular website that is linked to this Google business profile is on page 37.1 on Google. We have so many pages on Google. So when you make a search using a particular keyword, right? So the result that Google shows to you is actually on the first page. If you scroll down, you see page 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, this particular website is on page 37.1 on Google. So that is why you need to use tools like this to understand when people are searching for my website, what position is my website on the search engine? Okay, so that is what the Google Search Console does, right? So you can think of it as a health check plus performance tracker, right? It checks the health and performance of your website. Just think of it as that. So what it helps you do, what keywords they type on Google, right? That is what the Google Search Console helps you to understand. What are the keywords that your customer come to Google and type? Then how many times your site has appeared for people to see? That's the impressions now. And then how many clicks you got in a month, how many clicks in a week, how many clicks in a day, and all of that. Okay, I think I've also done justice to that. Let's move to the Google Business Profile. You already had a session on this, so I don't need to spend more time here. But the Google Business Profile is a very wonderful tool as well. And what does it do? What does it do? It helps you to manage your business on the search. It's more or less like an online store, right? So you have a store online. People come to that store. They see your product. They see your services. They can reach out to you through a call, through a contact. They see your opening hours, your address, and all of that. So if you're interested with the Google Business Profile, the link is business.google.com/create. business.google.com/create. So I believe my moderators can also help us with the link and drop in the Zoom chat. Okay, it's a free tool as well that helps you to manage your business and how it appears on Google. I know I've already said that, but it's free. You don't need to pay to start making use of it, okay? And your business can have a name. You can add a name, add an address, photos, website, hours, you can share photos. You can do a lot of things on your Google. By the way, I don't even need to. I don't even need to spend more time because I know you had this session yesterday. You can change every detail, right? Whatever you filled in there, you can as well change later. And then we have the almighty Google Analytics, the one I've been preaching for a very long time, okay? So this is the Google Analytics now. The Google Analytics is just a tool. It's a free tool as well, offered by Google, okay? And it helps you to understand how many people visit your website. Where are these people coming from, right? Are they coming from Google to see your website? Maybe they came to Google and then they found your website. Or did they go to your social media and then they found the link there on the bio? Did they click on your ad? Or maybe on any other platform, right? So what pages they look at when they come to your website? The Google Analytics presents this to you. Are they only looking at the home page? A website has so many pages. If you make a search and then you click on a particular website, we have the home page, we have the about page, we have the visitors page, we have the donation page. We have so many pages on a website, depending on what the owners of the website wants it to look like, okay? So with your own website, you're able to know, okay, when people come to my website, they only stop at the home page. They don't go to the about page. Why? Is it that it's not user-friendly? They don't go to this other page. Why? Is it that the information there is not attracting them or what? So it presents all these things to you, and then you can improve with that. Okay. How long they stay on your website, you also understand that. Oh, someone is giving me bread. Please don't. I'll just give myself to you. Okay. So you also understand how long they stay on your website, whether they bought something or not. So you are able to get all this information as well when you go to the Google Analytics. So the link now is analytics.google.com. I hope my moderators will also help me with the link in the chat, analytics.google.com. Okay, so that is all about that with the Google Analytics. Let me actually skip this pause for questions and come for questions at the end. We have just like a few more slides to cover. Let's look at how we can visualize and analyze this data. Okay, how can we visualize and analyze this data? I earlier mentioned that it's not just about, collecting this data, we look at them, but we don't know what to do with it. How do we visualize and analyze this data? First, use dashboards, okay? So you can use dashboards to visualize like charts, tables, graphs, and then you can use the Google Analytics setup to create an account and then track, whatever activity that is there. We are going to look at that. Then you are going to look at the 4 main reporting areas under the Google Analytics and all of that. So that is how you can visualize this data. Don't also forget, I said, when you are online, you don't need to do anything. All you need to do is visit the analytics because everything has been visualized and presented already for you. So all you need to do is to read the information. An example is what is on your screen right now. This is the Google Analytics dashboard, and this is how it presents information for you to gain insight. Okay, so the dashboard on the Google Analytics is just like a control panel, right? It shows you all the important data about your website in one place. Okay, you see charts, graphs, tables, just like what you are seeing right now. And if I want to look at the pie chart on the screen, you will discover that we have a certain percentage of people that use Apple to visit this particular website. They use Apple device to visit this particular website. And then we have another percentage of people that, that's the green color now, that uses Samsung to visit this website. So with this information, you will know how to work the view of your website to fit into an iPhone or maybe a Samsung device, right? So you work all these details so that they will see your website to be user friendly. Okay, so you can, if I want to also use the geomap now to explain how the dashboard looks like. Now on the geomap, you are able to know where people are coming from. Okay, most of my customers are in Kenya, most of them are in South Africa, most of them are in Lesotho and all of that, so that you will know where to focus your strategies, your customer acquisition strategies too. Okay, why does the dashboard matter? It matters because it gives you a quick snapshot of website health. Okay, it helps you spot problems faster, traffic drops, high bounce rates, and all of that. Now it lets you customize widgets so that you will only see metrics that matters most to your business. That is why the Google Analytics dashboard matters. Okay, how do we set up the Google Analytics? How do we set up the Google Analytics? Go to analytics.google.com. Okay, when you get to analytics.google.com, make sure you sign up. Sign up with your Google account. You have a Gmail account, sign up. When you sign up, add your business name, add a business category, and then proceed. Now, when you create an account, make sure you set up a property. By setting up a property, your website app you want to track and blah, 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 blah. So basically linking your website to this tool. Okay. So you add some necessary information like your industry category. I know already mentioned that. They are just basic steps, okay? So the most important thing when you're setting up your Google Analytics is the tracking code, okay? The tracking code now will help you to link your website to this tool, all right? The tracking code will help you link your website to this tool, okay? So once you get to where you are asked to add a tracking code, all you need to do rather is to copy the code, right? Copy the code and add on your website. When you copy the code, you add on your website, and then it will link your website to the Google Analytics. That is only if you're the one managing the back end of your website. But if you're not, reach out to your developer, reach out to whoever is managing your website for you. They will understand. It's simple. Just copy the code, link it, and that's it. All right. Same thing if you're using these free website builder sites like WordPress, Wix, Shopify. So they have plugins on those websites. So those plugins or settings where you just go and paste the measurement ID. So sometimes we call it measurement ID. So you can just paste it there, and then it links your website to the tracking analytics, to the tracking tool. Okay. So with this now, go back, do your activities on your website, and then come to the tracking app and then look at how it is performing. Okay. So that's basically it with the Google Analytics. So maybe some tips in using the Google Analytics. We have 4 main reporting sections on the Google Analytics, 4 main reporting section, right? So when you want to gather data, go to these areas on your Google Analytics, right? The reporting area where you have the audience overview. Now the audience overview will present to you who visits your website. Now, by who visits your website, the age, you will know their age, you will know their gender, you will know their location, you will know the devices they are using to visit your website. Now we have the acquisition overview. Under the acquisition overview, when you get there, you will know how people find your site. Do they go to Google? Do they go to social media? Do they click on your ads or direct typing? Okay, so you will find that information under the acquisition overview. How did they find you? Now you go to the behavior overview. The behavior overview now will present to you what visitors do on your site. What do they do? What are they worth to you, right? What do they do on your site? Okay, so most of them visit only one page on your website. They will only visit one page on your website. Most of them will not even spend up to 2 minutes on your website because they don't love the information. They don't see your website attractive. They don't even like anything on your website. So they will not spend time on your website, and it will now in turn become some bounce rate. Okay, when people leave quickly, they come, they don't stay up to 5 seconds, they disappear, right? So the behavior overview will present this information to you. And we have the last one, the conversion. Track whether visitors complete your set goals, right? Do they purchase? Do they buy? Do they download, right? You track all those information on your website. Wow, that was a long ride. I hope we are satisfied with today's session. Thank you so much. We've come to our last pause for questions. What if you're using a blog? It's just basically the same thing, right? It's basically the same thing. Link your blog to your Google Analytics, okay? And then follow the information that will be presented to you on your Google Analytics. Must you have a website to access this tracking device? He is explaining now. Yes, definitely. You need to have a website, right? You need to have a website before you are able to access that. So the Google Search Console, the Google Analytics is mainly for those that have websites. So if you don't have a website, you won't be able to track all these activities. Okay? Okay, thank you so much. It was a wonderful day with you all. I hope we meet again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love emojis. Please drop your favorite emojis before we go. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful session with you all on data and insights. Please give me bread. Wherever you are, right? If you just give me bread, I will come to you right now. I don't want to see pepper. Someone gave me pepper. But luckily, I did not cry. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Once again, I wish all my family and friends joining us from Ethiopia a wonderful new year. And to every other person that I've already seen 2025, I wish you a wonderful close new year as well. Thank you so much and do well to have a wonderful day. And we see you all when we see you again. Bye.